Jocelyn went out of town. And so it's a Monday night, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do on Monday? I'm gonna sit in the backyard by myself, and I'm gonna talk about archery. But I'm gonna put a camera in front of me so that I don't seem like a crazy person. So that's what we're doing. Lagavulin, 8 year. 8 years is not the best. The 12 is fantastic. The 16 is good. Oh, the wind! Why are you doing this to me? You've been blowing the other way the whole night. Oh, God. Go back the other way. Do it. Southerly breeze. Okay. It's been an interesting night so far. I almost lit my kitchen on fire because I was cooking a T-bone steak on the stove, which I have found to enjoy more than firing up the grill. And as it got to the end, it was just tons of butter and the fat and the whole deal was coming off, and a piece of the stuff got on the stove, big flame. I was gonna take a picture for Instagram, but I thought to myself, maybe you should put this out before you do that. I wanted to talk about my experience today shooting both the RX5 and the Hoyts. The Hoyt bows. I'm gonna look it up though, so I feel like that's important that I remember the name. Because here's the thing, I was impressed, but I feel like if you were a Hoyt shooter and you liked the way Hoyts feel, you may not like these bows this year. Hoyt bows. Get serious. Get Hoyt. Carbon RX5. The Ventum, which sounds like venom, but like if you're a 3-year-old trying to pronounce it where they add stuff to words, Ventum. So it's actually a cool name compared to some of the other bows that are out this year. I'm fine with it. Let's talk about the RX5 first. This is not my in-depth review. This is just me, again, wanting to talk about archery and giving myself an excuse to sit outside by a fire, have a nice, this is like a child's Gerber, like a fancy, I don't know, maybe this is for drinking scotch out of, but whatever, I'm drinking it out of here. Drink a nice scotch and smoke a cigar. The RX5, the thing that that was different, there were two things. The cams are totally different this year. They went to a binary cam system. They got rid of the yokes, which that's one of those things that I feel like if you're a Hoyt person, you like that. You like the yokes because you like to be able to tune that way on a Hoyt. I've never been a huge fan of the yokes going out on the outside of the axles because I was always just worried about catching it or snagging it on something. But that's different this year for both the Venom and for the RX5. The other new thing is that kind of butt pluggy, I'm gonna have to cut that out because I can't say that. The stabilizer that shoots out the front end. Now, to be fair, Matthews kind of did it first with their weird little, the harmonic dampener out there. But the one that I shot today it was fully set up, which is smart, by the way. If you're a shop, you should set your bows all the way up. Like, put a stabilizer on there. Put a sight on there, get the thing tuned, and I know that you're gonna be changing stuff back and forth, but for real, it makes a huge difference in the overall shooting experience, especially like the stabilizer. This one came, I think it had 4 ounces of weight down low on the butt plug. I'm gonna have to cut that, I can't say that on YouTube. And then we put a 10-inch stabilizer on it. It was just, I think it was a Bee Stinger, one of their kind of lower end with not much weight on there. And I was surprised. We shot the 30-inch version. What I immediately noticed was that for me, the string angle was too steep. Those new cams that they've got on there don't roll to a point where the cam last year rolled to a point when it stopped, it was very high. So the string angle was actually pretty forgiving. This one rolls, it seems like a rounder cam rather than a more elongated cam. So the 30-inch was not a good draw angle for me, but I am excited to try the 34 when they get that in. I think that it was a relatively smooth draw. Definitely you hit some mud kind of halfway back and you feel it as it rolls over into the back wall. This one was at 73 pounds and 30-inch draw, my draw length, which is another thing. Don't ever go try a bow that's not in your draw length. There's no point. And if they've got it turned down to 60 and you want to shoot it at 70, it's going to feel totally different. So why would you do it? That's not true, not why, but you should take the time and make them change it. They'll change it for you if you're gonna buy a bow. The actual shot, the hold was pretty solid. It was kind of what I remembered from last year's bow, solid hold. Maybe even a hair better. Obviously, I'd have to get it home to really dig in at distance and see how it shot. But the biggest thing that I noticed was the snap that you felt, the vibration that you felt after the shot was more of a deeper, heavier thud than a snappier, whippier thud. And that is the only way I know how to describe it, which is ridiculous. It was good. Like, it was pretty good. I think it was acceptable. I have come to appreciate the contoured grip that they have. I think Hoyt is, they may be having some problems right now. You know, they've been losing some people. And I don't know if you watched the video where Cam Hanes he wasn't too excited that they couldn't rack those bows up to 90 for him, you know, up to 90 pounds. The guy's a monster. And I wonder, you know, I wonder, is Cam, you know, gonna head somewhere else? I don't know. But I will give this to Hoyt this year. They made changes that were honestly really big changes, because I think that they took away what some people will say, I don't want to shoot a Hoyt because the reasons I've shot a Hoyt in the past are X, Y, Z, and a lot of it probably has to do with the cams. The other thing is the back wall was a totally different back wall. It was nice and solid. I mean, it felt a whole lot more like the other cable stopped bows that we all have been shooting. The Hoyt before was a pretty squishy back wall, had a fair amount of give. Probably the most amount of give out of any of the bows that I shot last year was that RX4. And this did not have it. So RX5, kind of interesting. To me, the only benefit of buying a carbon bow now with the price difference is that it's going to stay cooler in your hand. Stay warmer in your hand when you're in a cold environment. It's not gonna fluctuate the temperature that much. But by the time you put the weights on the by the time you put the weights down there, you're running normal weight, and it's a heavier bow this year than it was last year. And I think they said it was because of the plug thing. So let's move over to the Venom. I was pretty impressed with it. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. To me, it doesn't feel like a Hoyt, but the aluminum riser just had less. I bet you can't even see me right now. The heat waves going across. Am I mystical like the Wizard of Oz? The hold was super solid on the Venom. I was impressed. The cams, this draw is really similar to the carbon bow, but I was shooting the. I'll flash the number on the screen, so I don't know why I keep pausing on this. But the string angle felt good on that one. It didn't feel awesome, like I wanted it to be a little bit less steep. And I think with their cams from last year, it probably would have felt good. But I did like that contoured grip. I liked the way my hand felt underneath the shelf there. And there's some cool features on the Hoyt. One of the things that they've still got to do a module switch if there's like ranges on the module. So it's, you know, whatever, from 26 to 28 and a half, and then from 28 and a half to 30. And so they had to do a module switch when I was there because they had it on the other module. So still a little bit of a pain in the ass. So the Venom, the hold was super solid, and we had the same kind of setup. It had the and then it had the stabilizer on the bottom, you know, scope, the whole deal. Again, really smart to set it up that way because I understood what I was shooting. The other thing was I was shooting Easton Axis arrows at this shop, not some little janky, you know, janky lightweight something. A heavier arrow is going to make the bow feel better. Like if you put a 600 grain arrow at your shop for people to shoot, those bows are going to feel a lot smoother. Don't let them chrono. Don't let them chrono with those arrows, but they're going to feel really smooth. Is that cheating? Might be cheating. I would rather have had the RX5 from this year than the RX4 from last year. I'll just say that. And I would rather have the Venom from this year than probably a few of the bows that I had last year. It's a pretty solid bow. So if you are interested in kind of testing stuff out and maybe you haven't shot Hoyt in a while, go check it out. Go shoot both of them. The new binary cam system. Just if you've been shooting Hoyt, don't leave your preconceived notions of what a Hoyt is at home, and go check it out. I'm going to continue to sit around the fire and smoke my cigar and drink, and I'm probably going to play chess on my phone or watch TikTok videos. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful night. I'm gonna enjoy my Monday, which is a weird night to do that. Wait, it's a Tuesday. That's what I love about the COVID times. I don't even know what day it is. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon McDonald.